please come on the dais. I request J.E. Ursling, Senior Partner, Patterson, Thune, IP, United States of America. I request Dr. Pinaki Ghosh, IPR Chair, National University of Juridical Sciences, West Bengal, Kolkata. Dr. Pinaki Ghosh. Dr. Malati Kisan, Dr. Prabodh Ganguly. Yeah, Dr. Stephen Sohay. I also request, though again it is a disruption, one of the awardee would come on the dais, Professor Prabodh Ganguly. Professor Dr. Prabodh Ganguly. Arpit. And straightway, I now request my elder brother Prabodh Ganguly, Professor Prabodh Ganguly, to please carry on the further proceedings for the award.
Okay. Well, good evening, and it's indeed a great privilege to be here and attend this particular program. Consecutively for the last so many years, and GIPC has made a global mark, as the name itself suggests, and it's become an event of the year globally and well recognized by the IP fraternity across the globe. To be brief on, all of you know about GIPC, and that's why you are here. And what I think GIPC has done is brought a new vibrance in India on this particular topic at a time, it started at a time when we rarely spoke about IP with the type of emotion, with the type of feeling, with the type of seriousness, and with the type of zeal and purpose And I think over these years, GIPC has come a long way. And on this particular occasion, where we are talking about trying to recognize some of the people who have continually, in an analog fashion, in the digital age, to contribute to IP. And therefore, it becomes extremely important not only to organize, but also to recognize and put forth and take this whole IP movement to greater heights. And it's important to really give a new direction to innovation processes in this country, IP processes in this country, and the impact the world has on India and the impact that India has on the world. So it's extremely important to understand this reciprocity between India and the world and India. And unless we recognize that it's important to do this, we will not take the next step ahead. So we have a lot to learn from the world at large, and because of the very specific areas. And of course, it's extremely important simultaneously to recognize that because of certain very specific challenges that India faces as a nation, because of its immense diversity, that the world also has a lot to learn from India. So it's a this reciprocity is something which is a give and take, not give and take. It's a give and give, take and take. That's a new mantra, not give and take. Right? It's give and give, take and take. Very much important. That's synergy. That's how nature works. So having said these few words, we would like now to really call upon some of the stalwarts who have so dedicatedly, through the years, contributed to this field. Many of us have been in this particular field now for over 3 decades. And some of the stalwarts who are here, right from India and across the world, is the set of people that we would like to call upon to recognize them, to felicitate them, and to honor them on this very wonderful occasion. And in doing so, it's my pleasure to invite one of my friends, Dr. Mohan Diwan. Is Mohan Diwan around? He's not around. Okay, but nevertheless, let me. You have not marked Karakara. So you mark out. Okay, so where are those names? These are all the. So, stand to a small correction. These are called mid-course corrections, okay? And we take the mid-course corrections quite fearlessly, okay? That's what innovation is all about, okay? You proceed, then you suddenly see some sort of a little barrier somewhere, you bypass the barrier, and that's how you create innovations and bypass claims, okay? Claims sometimes becomes a hurdle. So what do? You study the claims, you bypass them. That's what innovation is all about. That's what we are doing now. So we started off in a certain course, then I was told, no, there's something else. So we now do a bit of a mid-course correction on that and now proceed along the lines that we want to. First, what we would like to do is to welcome everyone on the dais, and I would like to invite each one of them. They could come here, they could speak from where they are. But just quickly, in just about a minute and a half, extended to 2 minutes, max. It's like the claim out there. Give what is in your mind, what you see as the main outcome of an event like GIPC, how you see innovation processes going ahead, how you see IP should proceed in the next decade. Because 2020 is the end of one decade and the start of another decade. And therefore, I would like your views on 2020 to 2030 in 2 minutes. So to do that, the first person I would like to invite is Dr. Joshita Davar, please. Your mic, please. You have to put on the mic. Yeah.
Good evening, everyone. Well, in 2020, last year has been wonderful. In fact, for the past 3 years, what the Patent Office has been doing, as well as the Trademark Registry, by expediting examination and faster grants. Hopefully, the backlog in 2020 should be over. That is what I would expect. Thank you.
Wonderful, thank you very much. Then I proceed to my friend, Dr. Stefan Schoe from Germany.
Well, for 2020, I think it will be an interesting year because in Europe, we have a referral to the National Board of Appeal pending that will probably set the path how we are approaching computer-related inventions, AI, and the universe and everything for the next 10 years. So these are very exciting times. At the same time, the EPO is still considering how to approach AI. Let's see how they continue here. And otherwise, well, I think we'll see plenty of new things, plenty of disruption. So we won't get tired of our job, I guess.
Well, thank you, Stefan. Stefan and I have been involved now for at least a decade, professionally and even personally. We now move to Malti. Malti Lakshmi Kumaran. So, Malti, it's all yours.
So the year 2020, so yes, definitely a lot of the backlog will go off. But I want is that can we have much, the IPAB to be working. There's several things that we can help the examiners, controllers for giving us quality examination reports. And on the whole, another thing that I really need to see is more innovations happening in India. The government of India has said that like IITs have to make, have to file more than 1,000 applications. This is where I want to see. I want to see India in the next decade being more innovative. We are very creative, but I don't think we go to that thing of importance of patents. And this should be, and then you start giving them awards on the number of applications, number of inventions. It should not be, you just change a system, but how can we be more creative? How can we be more, start more inventions which can be patented, and also more awareness building. I know now a lot of colleges and schools and universities are looking up to it, and so it should be both from the bottom as well as the top-down approach of how can we see that India becomes more innovative and file patents, and how can we do. Otherwise, we will be only copying or paying license fees or royalties for all the inventions happening in US, Europe, and other countries.
Excellent. And now I move to Hari Subramaniam. People like Hari, I've known him now also close to 30 years. We always are on the other two sides, into two different warring factions, generally. But I must tell you that it is very rare in this country to find absolutely fantastic minds like Hari. He will find the most impossible legal argument where there is none. That's the creativity of Hari. And I think all the young people here must look forward to really finding mentors like him, to really grow, to understand what this legal profession on IP is all about, and how to be a creative lawyer and do innovations in law. Hari.
Dr. Ganguly, I reciprocate the feelings. It's been a pleasure arguing cases against you. I have fought against him while he was in Unilever before he went into private practice. And once I remember I was arguing a case against him and he had a battery of lawyers and he got so upset in between, he said, I'm going to argue the case myself. And he gave me hell and he made me sweat. And then he decided that he realized how good he was and he came onto this side now. But I've had a great privilege of fighting cases against him and learning a lot every time. And then, of course, I have Majumdar here, who has also represented Unilever, and I represent Procter, so we have fought a lot. And from 1981 till now, I think I know how many cases Majumdar and I fought against each other. It's a great learning experience. So there are some great minds, Hemant Singh, Archana, there's so many, I can name any attorney here and you pick one of the best here. Prabhuda, I think it's a sacrilege to ask a lawyer to confine his speech for 1.5 minutes, but I'll try. This morning, we were all excited because Justice Pratibha Singh was here, and we're also excited about the recent judgment that she pronounced on the computer-related inventions and the meaning and import of the words computer program per se. While that's a very good beginning for this year, I still feel very, very sad because the law has exactly been that way for 20 years. That's the way it's been argued by all the lawyers sitting here for 20 years, and yet the Patent Office refused to see what computer program per se was, and it needed High Court for so many years to actually explain what it is. But the matter is not going to end there. My bigger fear is that the Patent Office will still continue to ignore that judgment, will forget that the judicial precedent is as binding on them as a piece of legislature, because it has happened. We have seen a lot of judicial indiscipline there, and actually really not, I don't think they do it deliberately. They do not sometimes understand the meaning of a judicial precedent and how important it is for them to follow it, even if they do not agree with the judgment. So I think we have a long road ahead, and I'm hoping that the senior people like Dr. Kardam, who is here, now is not in the Patent Office, highly experienced, and other senior people who have been in the government and outside would really take steps in 2020 to train the Patent Office examiners and the controllers in examining applications and make sure that they are there to grant patents, not to refuse patents. I must actually quote a statement, and I was passing through the corridors of a patent office a few months ago, and I heard two young controllers talking to each other. And one of them said, how many cases did you refuse last month? He said 15. Other one said, oh my God, I refused only 12 cases the last 6 months. I need to catch up with you. If that's the mindset, that is very scary for us. And I have also, like Archana said this morning, spent a lot of time, not my own cases, but cases across. I've seen cases being refused by the Indian Patent Office. I picked up cases of almost all the leading law firms. And I have found at least about 40% of the cases where they were very well drafted, very well argued, and very excellent written submissions filed, yet they have been refused with a 2-line, 3-line order without, not even a proper speaking order. So I am really hoping that 2020, Government of India or Patent Office or anybody, whoever is concerned, DIPPI, would take steps to train controllers, particularly because in the last few years, unlike the time when we started the practice where controllers will be examiners for many years before they turn into controllers, now you have a lot of young, inexperienced examiners suddenly becoming controllers. And some of them have actually been looking at the patent inventions in a very, very different way. It's very important for them to understand, the amount of time and energy and cost and the innovative mind that goes into creating an invention, and to dismiss it something like, oh, it's only so and so. It's only. The law doesn't use the word only, but examiners often say, oh, it's only, so therefore I will not allow. I think we need to have a program like this. So what I would hope that in GIPC and other conferences that happen, if we could induct include a capsule here and invite a lot of examiners and controllers to attend, and also probably create some programs here, some topics here, so that can also act as an educative experience for them. Of course, without telling them that we are educating them, because that could be offensive. And I think if we could achieve that, that will be really good.
Great, thank you very much, Hari. We'll keep note. I think the people who are taking down the notes on behalf of GIPC will take note of this suggestion.
Yeah, and then just to add to that, whether they can come up with guidelines. So like when you do get an order like that, it would be good if we can have guidelines set by the patent office, updated every time, so that the controllers also follow that.
So I think a good suggestion would be, a good way of taking this forward could be, and I would appeal to Dhanpat and his team, that if we can put down, with the help of some of the experts, a list of what we may call as recommendations, operative recommendations, not flat recommendations, for the Patent Office and Trademark Office and Copyright Office to operate in this country, from a team of experts on behalf of GIPC, just as the way we did produce a document, if you recall, when the IP policy was made, we actually submitted on behalf of GIPC a document to the government, which was then taken cognizance of, and the government then reacted to it positively. I think we need to do something like that. That would be a wonderful thing to take it forward. Thanks, Hari, and thanks, Lakshmi. Now, the next person I would like to invite is Chid Iyer. Chid Iyer has been very interesting, his involvement. Last year, as we were speaking, it turns out that he was involved in writing some algorithms for AI-based things, even as early as early 70s. And since then, when he turned to become a IP attorney, okay, he's done a lot of work, comes here every year. So Chid, your thoughts?
Yeah, I wouldn't go that far. Early 70s, I was playing marbles, but in the 80s maybe, but all the same. Yeah, he's right in the sense that I have a master's in computer science, where my specialization was AI and robotics, and for the next 10 years, till about 97, when I became a patent attorney, I actually was, writing AI software. I was a Lisp and Prolog programmers. And people who are in AI will realize that those are not used these days. You have Python and you have several newer type of languages. But the algorithms, interestingly, are pretty much the same. Our problem those days was that we had very good algorithms, but we would run out of memory and processing. So all we could do by today's standard was we were implementing very rudimentary systems, but in some areas significant success was achieved. Regarding Dr. Ganguly's questions, what I've seen is, I started coming to India for doing workshops and presentations since the late 90s, early 2000s. So I remember in conferences as late as even 2005 or so, we were talking about what is a patent, what is 102, or what is obviousness, that kind of a thing. And today, especially in the pharma sector, before I even finish one sentence, there are people jumping in and asking questions about a case that came out 2 days back, which I may not even have read from the Federal Circuit. You know, how about this, how about that? So we have to be on our toes when we come, because the level of sophistication is exponentially high today. Now, I don't think I'm old enough to start giving advice, but I would say that the trend is in the right direction. Trend is good. Continue. I mean, more and more enforcement, more and more respect for intellectual property. I don't essentially mean litigation, but more and more active enforcement should continue. And one thing, we have to accept, for the next 100 years, innovations are going to come from data sciences, regardless of the technology, regardless of whether it is chemical or automobile or anything. What is going to, the level of innovation is going to be how we are going to use information and data that has already been created, or which are being, how to use them in the best possible way. AI, IoT, all of them are related to that. So data science is going to be key. And regardless of which field you are in, that's where the innovations are going to come from. So it's better that the patent system keeps up with it. If you look at it, the way the patentable subject matter, if that provision of patent law everywhere in the world, if you look at it closely, they came from machines and oils and soaps, basically chemistry and mechanical engineering. These were the two fields that existed 200 years back. They didn't have electrical engineering or computers or software. So the basic, machine process, new use of composition of matter, all these came from either chemical technology or from mechanical technology. They were not, those words would not directly lend itself to electrical signals, software and all that. But we still are trying to tweak it and still not make, changes and add new words to the patentable subject. Why not we have circuits? Why can't we have algorithms? Just like machine, composition of, we can say circuits, we can say software, but we are not doing that. And even in the US, the new proposals are still going to be using the same and trying to tweak newer technologies into that. If I had a dream, that would be that we add a few more new, words to the list of patentable subject matter, so that we can cover these new areas of technology. And everybody knows it. We don't need to define it. Everyone knows what's a software. Everybody knows what's a program. Why not add these words? So that would be my, dream, not just for India, but globally.
Thanks, Chid. We will try and realize your dream. You keep dreaming and we'll realize it. Now, I have the great pleasure in inviting Jay Ensling. Jay comes here with a huge experience in the World Intellectual Property Organization. He's spent a lifetime there, and especially with his enormous experience in getting the Patent Cooperation Treaty and such related things, actually in order and operational. So it's all yours, Jay.
Thank you, Professor. I probably am sitting here with the longest experience of anyone on the dais,
That's
having
great.
been a lawyer for 45 years, and also having experience in India that dates back to 1989. So I have truly seen this country develop and change and become a world leader. So what I hope to a certain extent is that you take a step back and recognize how far you have come. Also, how important conferences like GIPC are, because they allow not only for self-examination, but I also hope a little bit for self-praise. My hope is that my country, America, begins to recognize more and more the importance of India, not only as world leader, but even more importantly, as a place where patenting needs to take place and is important. So the problems that you face are the problems that all countries face. Technology has always, since the beginnings of the patent system, has always moved faster than the patent system itself. And the patent system has always played catch up with technology. So yes, we are in a difficult time now to figure out what to do about things like software or biotechnology or genes, but it's not that we have never been in this place before, and we have solved these problems before, and we're likely to solve them now. And my hope also is, because there is so much self-examination in this country and so much interest in intellectual property in India, that you, in fact, will probably emerge as one of the leaders of proposing change and bringing about change in the patent system. I'd love to be here, and it's because of the excitement that I find in this country, and I hope that it continues.
Well, thank you very much, Jay. I will look forward to many more years of your coming over and giving the value of your experience. I'm sure you're a great part of this team, and we'll look forward to you for year on year from here on. And now, it's very interesting that Jay mentioned that he had the highest experience probably in this room with 45 years. So what can we do? Now we go to the baby in the team. And the baby in the team is Pinaki. Pinaki, I've known Pinaki from the day he wanted to, crawl into IP. I use the word crawl for a different reason. Not crawl in the sense of crawling. He is a computer engineer. And then, using the software and all the methods of crawling, he crawled into IP. Very interesting. So starting off as a computer engineer, he crawled into IP, and now he's a professor at the university, the National Law University of Judicial Sciences in Kolkata. Pinaki.
Thank you. Good afternoon to everyone, our distinguished guests on the stage and then the audience, my brothers and sisters here. So I feel why I'm talking about here, as Dr. Ganguly was talking about, that my journey was almost 25 years in IP. Previous to that, I accidentally jumped into the IP because I was the researcher and I had a couple of patents back date. And when accidentally one of the company has chosen me to start an IP group 25 years back, and then my journey started in IP. Now, in 2020, I'm seeing a lot of good things. In last GIPC, we had the session on the connecting dots. I hosted the session, the connecting dots. The dots are on the law side, on the technology side, on the management side, on the financial side, on the regulatory sides. I have seen a lot of changes over the years, and my dream that all these dots, how the technology is changing, the regulatory space is changing, we as an IP professional has to be equipped to that, and we need to actually go through that one so that we can get the real essence of intellectual property for the business, for the country as whole. The second thing I really wish, because in 2016, our IP policy has been published. Dr. Sabarwal was here, who was, but one thing I see the missing things is that real implementation of the whatever is written in the policy. In bits and pieces, there is some changes, but holistically, there was not that drive. I have looked into that one. One of the good changes, there are many good changes has been done. One of the good changes I've seen that is the IP courses has been introduced in the colleges and schools. And in the legal fraternity, in the other space also I've changes, but holistically we have not seen. Now people are talking about 2.0, IP policy 2.0, as Justice Pratibha Singh talked about in the morning also. So you hope that policy can be released, but the implementation should be, we need to look into the more implementation part on the policy, whatever is written in the policy. The guideline has to be also there through that. The third thing I really want is that the India ranking every year, that is globally from WIPO and US, it is published, the India ranking, and the parameters in the India ranking, because of the parameters, I feel that our rank was not that good, though we are jumping 10 position up, 10 position down like that. But the real parameters, what India has called, so-called innovations and creativity, that is still missing. If in this platform, in this GIPC, is the good platform, I really want that there should be a criteria for India specific where we can drive, we can really look into that, what should be the IP position of India, the ranking field. And the last, I really want that, as Dr. Ganguly was talking in the afternoon about the quality of the patent drafting and quality in every aspect has to be adjusted, and there should be certain parameters on the patent draft and patent filing things. The quality is very essential, not only the number, so we need to look into that one. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Pinaki. It's been a pleasure seeing you grow in this particular field. Now I'd like to invite Dr. Dhanpad Agarwal. Now I don't know what to describe him with. Is he the stem? Is he the root? Is he all those different shakhas of the banyan tree? The root lies here. The brain behind GIPC, please.
Well, friends, good evening. I am really very glad to be amongst you at this GIPC 2020 award ceremony. This GIPC award was launched last year, so this is the second edition, though GIPC is the 12th edition. Why we thought of? Because we understood that although invention is very important, but as my friend Dr. Pinaki just mentioned, that there are many dots, so connecting the dots. So when I take it broadly, I find broadly three aspects. One is the legal aspect, the other is the technological aspect, and the third is the commercial aspect. So there is a triangle. So if you look at the triangle, then we have in this entire gamut of IP and innovation, the researchers who create the IP, and we have the legal fraternity who help the protection and enforcement of IP, and then we have the people who are the innovators who help commercializing the IP. So this is how we complete the entire IP ecosystem, from creation to protection to enforcement to commercialization, and then the role of GIPC is only creating awareness. So this is how we thought that whenever we think of giving award, we should justify the entire integral force behind creating a strong IP ecosystem. So the jury, consisting of highly learned people from India and abroad, according to the broader parameters and the objectives set by the GIPC organizing committee, the jury took the view that yes, we should give such awards, and this year's award is to 21 persons. Those persons are individuals, those persons are representing some organizations, but to give a brief classification of the awards which we are going to give, so out of 21, 4 awards are broadly to the innovators. And though I will come to that individually, but one of the innovators I think we should be proud of is nobody but Mr. R.S. Sodhi, the CEO of Amul. And Amul is a inspiring and guiding force for the Indian innovation. So it's just to mention that there are 4 awards given to various persons who are in the team of innovators. Then we have the law firms from India as well as from outside India. So from India we have 5 law firms, and from overseas we have 3 law firms. Then we have a group where we have the people, experts from their very deep experience in the field of IP from India and also at the international level. So those policy planners, some of them are very good consultant to the government of India as well as to the corporate sectors. There are some who are in the research organizations. So in that group, there are 9 organizations. So 4 to the innovators, in total, including Indian and the law firms, foreign law firms, 8, and then 9 to the policy planners and experts, including researchers. So this is how 4, 8, and 9. So it makes 21. Now, I will again request my colleague Dr. Ashwini Sandhu to invite all the awardees, and then the people sitting on the dais, they would be giving awards to them. So I request Dr. Ashwini. So first, and then this award to be given by
Thank you. Okay, the first awardee, he is the managing director of a very big conglomerate. In more familiar terms, it's a cooperative organization which is there, a household term in almost every home. He's a silent worker who lets his work speak for himself and does not go around with a trumpet in his hand, boasting about his or organization's diverse accomplishments. His contribution has been phenomenal. He's made sure that special distributors, known as super distributors, would cover even the remotest part of the nation so that the distribution network of the organization could be enhanced and more people could be gainfully employed. This has helped the company to consolidate its presence in a wide range of geographic. Let the clapping go on.
next award goes to Dr. Mohan Diwan, a stalwart in the Indian IP arena. Dr. Mohan Diwan is a dynamic head of R.K. Diwan and Company with over 45 years of experience in intellectual property practice, both contentious and non-contentious. A registered patent and trademark attorney, Dr. Mohan is also an exceptional trial lawyer. An expert at Indian trademark law, Dr. Mohan oversees infringement, passing off, and anti-counterfeiting actions for clients across India. Since he is not present, the award will be received by Mr. N.K. Bharadwaj. A huge round of applause for him.
This was started in 2012 with a vision to revolutionize the process of visualizing and analyzing patent data. By identifying the market need, they have worked towards providing an advanced, faster, and an innovative solution that can automate the standard workflow of IP searches. Leveraging this extensive search experience in IPR, they developed algorithms using technologies such as AI, cognitive computing, machine learning, and other big data technologies to extract intelligence from a scattered data. Humanizing the intelligence from machine learning is the foundation of efficient analysis, valid insights, and informed decisions. I call upon the founders of ExcelPat, Jitin Talwar and Komal Talwar, to kindly come on stage to accept the award. Samir Goel.
He is a partner and patent attorney in chemical and biotechnology section specializing in patent prosecution and litigation primarily in the chemical, medical, and biotechnological fields. He received his Bachelor of Science and Master of Science degrees from Sophia University, Japan, and then his master's degree in IP law from the University of Washington. Additionally, he studied medical and biotechnological related IP issues at the Tokyo Medical and Dental University. He has handled more than 700 Japanese domestic and foreign patent application cases and more than 10 litigation cases related to validity challenges and opinion cases as a key member of chemical and biotechnology section. Please welcome Mr. Hironobu Hattori, to receive the award. A huge round of applause for him.
He is an IP litigator, founding and a managing partner of a IP law firm located in Delhi and Mumbai. He is also a registered patent agent. He was admitted to bar in 1984 and handled over 2,500 IP litigations in various courts all over India involving contentious and complex issues. He has been actively participating in the growth of valuable jurisprudence in the field of IP through various amicus briefs as well as through leadership of various IP committees of various international IP associations globally. The president of AIPPI India Group is none other than Mr. Hemant Singh, founding and the manager partner of INTTL Advocare. With over 40 years of experience, he has provided in the last 15 years consulting and training services to leading companies in the development and implementation of corporate IPR frameworks, commerce laws, information technology laws, and complex licensing transactions. He is a founder member of the Technology Law Forum, a member of the International Technology Law Association, a past president of Licensing Executive Society India, an affiliate of the Licensing Executive Society International. He was featured in a list of the world's leading IP strategists 2017 by IAM Magazine of London. Please welcome Mr. Subramaniam Vutta, proprietor Subramaniam Vutta and Associates, to receive the next award. Our next awardee chairs the patent practice of a huge law firm. He has handled filing and prosecutions of several thousands of patent applications for clients in diverse areas of technology like biotechnology, bioinformatics, software, nanotechnology, pharmaceuticals, electronics, communication, and mechanical. He also has vast experience and expertise in handling of design applications and issues related thereto. I welcome Mr. Ravi Bola, partner KNS Partners, on the stage to receive the award.
He is a recognized leader and pioneer in the use of advanced semiconductor reverse engineering process to support innovative product design and to extract maximum value from intellectual property. Business leaders, technical teams, and legal counsel alike regularly turn to him for strategic guidance on a broad range of IP issues, including improving innovation programs, detecting patent infringement, protecting a competitive position, strategies for optimizing the value of technology portfolio. As the CEO and co-founder he has been recognized as the world's most foremost intellectual property strategist by Intellectual Asset Management magazine. Please welcome Mr. Terry Ludlow, President Pachira IP, for receiving the next award. Career as a technical assistant in the patent department of a reputed patent law firm. Thereafter, he started his independent practice and founded a firm. With over 30 years of experience as an IP law practitioner, he remains the leading member of the legal team in the firm and handles litigations in all branches of IPR. He also leads the patent contentious team. He has to his merit several successful passing off and other critical IP court cases, with several publications to his credit. A vocal supporter of creating awareness about IP in India and universities at the level of government, private labs, and corporate sectors, and also the Indian Patent Office. He also specializes in licensing in different IPR-related matters. He's been a member of illustrious faculties and delivered lectures in several workshops and seminars. He's a member of AIPPI, INTA, FICCI, and APA. He's the founder of S. Majumdar and Company, Mr. Subhatosh Majumdar. Welcome him with a big hand.
I had the pleasure of working with him for 3 years at his Mumbai office.
All I want to say is, Mr. Majumdar wrote my first patent. So, I've learned all the patenting stuff from Mr. Majumdar.
Work with him. Work with him for a year. He's the best teacher one can have.
He obtained his law degree from Lucknow University in 2000 and also has done masters in software development and software engineering. He handles all infringement matters relating to copyright and trademarks and domain-related issues, including filing of UDRP complaints. He has handled various high-profile cases. He was a part of Parliamentary Standing Committee, which was constituted to look into the Copyright Amendment Bill 2010. He is the secretary of the Asian Patent Attorneys Association and is also a member of the Association of Copyright Committee, besides being a council member of APAA. Please welcome Mr. Sudeep Chatterjee, partner, Singh & Singh Law Firm, to receive the next award.
Our next awardee is a current global IP head at a well-known pharmaceuticals. He works on variety of IP matters at a global level, including IP due diligence of biosimilar, IP activities of 351K filings, FTF para 4 filings, handling patent litigations across the globe, and related activities like drafting and prosecution. He holds a PhD degree from the Sardar Patel University. Besides having a PG diploma in patent law degree from Nalsar University, Hyderabad, he has also undergone various specialized courses on US litigations and European practice. Please welcome Dr. Alpesh Pathak, the Global IP Head of the Patent Cell in Taz Pharma. He is the most experienced controller with a demonstrated history of working for around 37 years in the legal services industry, especially in IPR.
skilled in patent litigation, international IP law, patent prosecution, competition law, and legal research. Strong professional with a Master's of Laws and PhD focused in intellectual property law from Delhi University. He is Dr. K.S. Kardam. Please welcome Mr. Dr. K.S. Kardam, former Senior Joint Controller of Patents and Designs, Indian Patent Office, to receive the next award.
Our next awardee, a postgraduate in chemistry from the University of Kerala. While pursuing his PhD in organic chemistry from IIS Bangalore, he joined the IIS in 1986. He served in various capacities in the provisional government of Orissa and Kerala and joined as a Controller General of Patents, Designs and Trademarks, Government of India in January 2009. He has taken several initiatives to reform the IP office, which according to the experts and those who dealt with it, had been opaque in its functioning and also faced complaints of not always acting fairly. He introduced transparency in the process of clearing patents and trademark applications and granting IP rights, a function that is becoming increasingly critical as India's integration with the global economy continues. None other than Mr. P.H. Kurian, and the award to be received by Dr. K.S. Kardam on his behalf.
He specializes in the field of IP, includes formulating IP policies and strategies, designing legal frameworks in the conformity with international obligations and national priorities, building institutions, developing human resources, creating awareness and respect for IP rights, especially in the digital environment, and promoting international and regional cooperation. He was Deputy Director General Cooperation for Development Sector, World Intellectual Property Organization, Geneva, with the rank of Under-Secretary General to the United Nations from December 1, 2006 to November 30th, 2009. He was also appointed as convener member of IPR think tank established by Government of India in 2014 to formulate a national IPR policy and to advise government on IP-related matters. Please. He was appointed as chairman of IPR think tank established by Government of India in 2014 to formulate a national IPR policy and to advise government of IP-related matters. Please welcome Mr. Narendra Sabhawal, Chairman, FICCI IP Committee, to receive the next award.
Narendra Sabharwal, Mr. Narendra Sabharwal, when he went to World Intellectual Property Organization, he was one of the first Indian bureaucrats, one of the first few Indian bureaucrats who went to the World Intellectual Property Organization and took India to the international global stage. So, great contribution.
Our next award is currently holding the position of the Chairman and Managing Director of a central public sector undertaking under the Ministry of Science and Technology, Government of India. He's acquired over 35 years of diverse experience across innovation value chain by working at different government institutions of repute. Under his leadership, NRDC got the Best PSU award from the government, and now he was awarded a CEO of the Year 2017 from the Indian Chamber of Commerce. Now as the CMD of NRDC, he is spearheading the commercialization of innovative technologies developed by various public-funded R&D labs and universities in the country and contributing significantly to the Startup India and Make in India mission of the Government of India. He has brought a turnaround in the NRDC. None other than Dr. Purushottam, Chairman and MD of the National Research Development Corporation. Also call upon Dr. Vijay Kumar Sahu, Manager IPR for WIPO, TICS and NRDC on the dais.
He has 3 decades of teaching. He has 3 decades of teaching and research experience in legal education and served NLS Bangalore and Nalsar, Hyderabad between 1990 to 2017. He also was the Dean at Rajiv Gandhi School of IP Law at IIT Kharagpur between 2009 to 2010 and was the founding Dean of the School of Law at Bennett University at Greater Noida during 2017 to 2019. He specializes in teaching, research, and advocacy of the fields of intellectual property law and internet law. He also established the Nalsa Proximate Education at Nalsa University. He has key publications in national and international journals and has contributed to book chapters in international publications. Please welcome Dr. V.C. Vivekanandan, Vice Chancellor Hidayatullah National Law University, to receive next award.
Just about a few words about Vivek, which was not told. There are a few things untold. And that untold is if you want to learn the humor hidden in law, then you must attend lectures by Vivek. Then you'll get to know what is the humor element, those sections on humor in law. Vivek.
An AI-powered platform that enables people with complaints to those who could resolve them. Mid-2018, supported as socially focused early-stage startup by Samsung India CSR Fund, incubated at Innovation Center, IIT Bangalore since Jan 2018, filing of 9 provisional patents in August 2017. Its long-term vision is to cover various use cases to help citizens fight right resolutions for their problems. So this platform is Sunwai, and I invite the founder, Anvita Bajpai, to please come on the dais to accept the award.
This has a track record of innovation and has filed around 200 patent applications in all major geographies of world, including USA, Europe, Australia, China, Canada, Japan, Korea, Mexico, and India, with small API team, out of which 60 patents are granted in different geographies and rest of them are in different stages of prosecution. It has won 3 patent awards for the last 3 successive years. The next award goes to Newland Laboratories IPR team. I call upon PSRC Murthy, head IPR, to receive the award. the CEO of consulting firm offering services in management of intellectual property rights, information security, and knowledge management. He is a leading international expert on IPR and a consultant to the World Intellectual Property Organization for IPR capacity building programs in developing countries, an elected fellow of the Maharashtra Academy of Sciences. After several years in academic research, he worked in industry for 2 decades in diverse managerial roles, including research and development, technology assessment, forecasting and transfer, knowledge management, factory management, and business planning. I request Professor Prabhuddha Ganguly, CEO Advisor, Vision IPR, to receive next award.
Dear friends, the award giving ceremony is going to be concluded, but before that, may I request some of the awardees to please come and say a few words about GIPC. Can I request Hattori-san from Nakamura, Japan, please? And we can sit. Yeah.
Yeah, thank you very much having this opportunity to be here and taking an excellent award of GIPC. And this is the place to learn about what is happening in India and also happening in the world. So I always come to here to learn everything about worldwide issue in a IP field. And this year, especially for the AIs, and also I will talk about PPH tomorrow. So I'm very happy to be here this year as well. And also thank you very much having Dr. Agawa an opportunity to be here. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Agarwal. My association with GIPC has been since its inception from 2009, I think. This is the 12th version. And over these years, I have seen GIPC going from strength to strength, enlarging its ambit of operations from awareness building, which remains a constant theme as far as GIPC is concerned. But the way awareness building is done, by getting the best brains in India and abroad to come to India and deliberate upon topical themes. And in this process, not only awareness building, there is a lot of skill building which goes on. There is a lot of practical experience which is imparted. And I would say that finally, what comes out of a GIPC is human capital. So starting from awareness, promotion, to building human capital, this is what has been the record of GIPC during these years that I have been associated with it. And I would like to say that Dr. Agarwal has been the moving spirit behind GIPC. He is the brain behind it. He is the prime force behind it. And his inspirational leadership, we should all recognize. And kudos to you, Dr. Agarwal. Thank you.
My friend Subramaniam Uthatu. Mani. Yeah.
I think Dr. Agarwal deserves a lifetime award. He seems to have dedicated his whole lifetime to IPR and doing a much better job than any of us, who started firms and, we have done a bit of work, but this is stupendous, this convention. I sometimes feel that when India takes its rightful place in IPR, we will do something really good with IPR. Don't you think, Dr. Hari? Huh? We'll do something really good with IPR if India takes a lead, because we'll probably inject some Indian wisdom into IPR. So I think the future sessions of GIPC is not just about technology, it's about a little of wisdom, about collaboration rather than competition, about sharing rather than hoarding. Maybe we should think of new themes which are more consonant with Indian wisdom. So I'm sure you will do it with your wisdom, Dr. Agarwal. Thank you.
I'll request Professor Vivekananda to please come and say a few words.
Good evening, and let me thank first Dr. Dhanpat Agarwal for recognizing through these awards and also calling academicians here. As many of you pointed out, when I started teaching in early 1990 in National Law School, Bangalore, if somebody asks you to go and teach IPR, it's called a punishment posting. Because constitutional law is the sought after thing. If you do IPR, they say that you are condemned. So I was given a condemned course, and over a decade later, this became the most coveted post where constitutional law teachers started asking, can you give us some classes from IPR? So that's a kind of a journey which I've gone through. I'm also an accidental professor in IPR in one sense, but having taken up, I thought I will do it with a zeal. And Prabhuda Ganguly Dada told me that humor in law. So many people do tell me IPR is boring. That IPR is not boring. Probably the people who teach you must have been, boring, would have made it boring. So I do feel that I'm quite happy to see some of the people who studied under me also taking awards. That is the best thing a teacher can get, that your students also get an award along with you. And this is the only profession which feels proud that your students do well than you. So let me thank Agarwal ji for recognition of academicians. I do feel that there is a bit of imbalance in at least in this land space. I do see very less academicians coming in for conferences of this nature, but I do expect that if you want the industry, education to come up together, right, not as separate silos, more academicians have to come. Of course, I need not tell Prabhuda, who is from industry, turned as an academician here, and many of you are as good professors than any trained professors are. Thank you very much for this opportunity.
Now, finally, I request Dr. Ashwini Sandhu to please convey a vote of thanks.
We wish to convey a sincere vote of thanks to all the participants coming from different parts of the world, to all the speakers, exhibitors and dignitaries on the days. Your overwhelming response participation has enabled us to successfully inaugurate this GIPC and keep our journey on the move. We hope to keep receiving your continuous support to make this event a grand success. Thank you. Somebody has kept a baggage at the counter. Kindly collect it from the CSFI people.